Hello there, and welcome back. My name is Sean Reimer, I don't rhyme, and if you had a time machine, where would you go? Or rather, when would you go? Would you take a glimpse into the future? Or would you go back and rewrite A Night in Sickbay? Okay, yeah, that one. Time travel is awesome. Doctor Who does it, Harry Potter did it, once too many times, Star Wars wants to do it after that sequel trilogy, and of course, Star Trek has done it. The amazing part about Trek's ventures in time, in particular, are the amount of methods used to accomplish it. Slingshot around the sun, a magical gateway, a franchise reboot, etc. But my favorite of them all involves my favorite ship in all of Star Trek, the USS Relativity, a ship that has, ironically, been lost in time. In case you haven't watched the episode of Voyager on Netflix, in all fairness, I don't listen to 99% of the things people tell me to watch on there, so I get it. Here's a recap. The time ship Relativity is attempting to stop a bomb being planted on Voyager to avoid a paradox. They pluck 7 of 9 from her time stream and subsequently kill her multiple times, much to the dismay of every horny Trekkie, so they can use her Borg implants to locate the bomb. After some time travel shenanigans, it is revealed that the person who planted the bomb on Voyager is a future version of the captain of the Relativity, Captain Braxton. Eventually Janeway gets involved so they don't permanently murder Seven, good thing they didn't because she's one of the few good parts of Star Trek Picard, and they put a stop to Braxton's plan. This episode is without a doubt my favorite Star Trek time travel story, and considering how many Star Trek time travel stories there are, it begs the question. Why hasn't there been a Star Trek show dedicated to the real final frontier of time? They might as well. They put work into the ship, the uniforms, the bridge, and the regulations. The episode reminds you early on that this is still the Federation, just expanded. And for all these great pieces only being in one episode, they did a really good job to make sure the 29th century had an identity of its own. Something that I can't say about 2399 in Star Trek Picard. The Relativity herself has all the hallmarks of a Federation ship, just streamlined and advanced. Rick Sternbach was very key in keeping the familiar Starfleet elements, including keeping the Bussard collectors and the deflector. The uniforms uphold the Starfleet design language as well by keeping the rank pips and department colors, albeit switching them around to have blue as command, purple as science, and bronze as operations. They still make more sense than Discovery's color scheme. Oh, and speaking of Discovery. Okay, so this part is going to turn into a bit of a rant about Discovery. I like a lot of the characters in Discovery, but there's so much that makes it a chore to watch. The lack of consistency in their mission from season to season, the lack of a consistent captain, and while sure, politics have always been part of Star Trek, it feels incredibly forced in Discovery. But my biggest problem was season 3. When I learned they were going into the future, I was expecting to see things that were already established, like the Relativity and the Temporal Accords. I was expecting some cool time travel missions to get Discovery home. Discovery, however, decided to create a plot centered around a child blowing up the galaxy with his temper tantrums. Taking Discovery into the future opens up more writing opportunities, sure, but I honestly don't think Alex Kurtzman knows what to do long term with his shows. Either serialize it or create a series-long arc. Not the seasonal stuff that flips on a dime. And if you're not going to explicitly say you're making a new timeline, like the Calvin timeline, listen to established Trek in the Prime timeline. Relativity is my favorite episode of Star Trek. And now it has been completely erased from canon. It represented a new direction to take Trek that wasn't space exploration, but rather something that was entirely new. I hope one day I can see the Relativity fly again, boldly going when no one has gone before. On that wonderful note, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.